welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be drawing words again. So the first one, clematis says something. All I know is that when I looked it up, it was plants, just like it says. And I think of whatever plant I was using as a reference as part of this group of plants. It's a genus, so this is a genus of plants. Whatever plant I was using, whatever flower I was using is my new favorite flower because it's absolutely beautiful. It was like this purple flower, and anyway, I had to draw this flower. It's my new favorite one. But basically, the first thing that I thought about doing was the big thing about these flowers is that they climb up things, so like walls or pillars. So I wanted to draw them climbing up, but then I decided not to because I didn't want to. I wanted to draw the flower of the reference photo that I was using, so I just decided to draw that flower and more focus on the flower rather than the aspect of it climbing up. The first couple of times I tried to do the line art, it kind of didn't really work. It has 7 petals. I counted 7 petals, but it wasn't spacing out the way I wanted it to. And so it took a couple different tries to try and get it. And then finally I had to adhere closer to my sketch to get it correct. Even though I really liked the the way the first one turned out, it just had too much space there and I had to put more space in between the petals. I haven't done this in a while, so it was a little bit, I had to swipe a couple times, generate a few different words before I could find something, because I just none of the words were inspiring very much. I didn't know what I wanted to draw for them, and I just didn't know what I wanted to draw for them until I finally came on this and I was like, you know what, why not draw a flower? I like flowers. And yeah. I really like purple, so that's probably why this is my new favorite flower. But yeah, I've been doing this using a new brush in Procreate that I haven't really used ever. I found it when Procreate updated, and I really like it. So I think I'm going to start using it a lot more often. I was exploring all the different new brushes that was in Procreate for Inktober. And this is the one that I landed on that I'm probably going to keep using for a little while. Anyway, more about the flower. The actual word, which sounds wrong when I try to pronounce it, so I'm not going to try and pronounce it again, but it's at the top of the screen. It is technically a genus, so in taxonomy is how all living things are classified, and the way it's classified, basically you have the kingdom, order, family, subfamily, tribe, genus, then you have another one in there, and then you have species. And so this word is technically a genus in the plant kingdom. And so it's just a bunch of different plants, but this is the one that I specifically found that I really liked. And it had it was purple, and I really wanted to work with purple, obviously. I mean, look at my entire channel, it's all purple. But it had a more magenta purple in the middle, and then a more bluish purple on the sides. And then the more I looked at the reference photo, it was actually lighter than I initially did, so I ended up lowering the opacity and bringing it down a little bit. I really it's kind of all I had to talk about. I kind of went through all the things that, checked everything off the list. So, yeah, the stems were a little bit difficult, and trying to get the petals right on the closed flower was a little bit difficult, but then I was like, you know what, it's okay. These aren't meant to be perfect. I just wanted to draw something because I haven't really drawn digitally in a little bit. I've done a lot of sketching on paper, but not very many digital stuff. So I wanted to like get my style back in and like catch my digital drawings up to my to my sketching. Oh my gosh, it's like 8 p.m. at night. I'm exhausted and I want to go to bed. 8 p.m. is not as late as it sounds. Oh, what am I thinking? Anyway, so I am doing Inktober this year. I was debating not doing it just because it just seems like a lot of work, a lot of art, and especially since I've got a lot of stuff on my plate. But then I was like, I'm gonna do it anyway because like I want to, and I really haven't had very much to draw recently. So yeah, that's the picture that I have. And this last part, for some reason, it ended up slow, and I'm probably just gonna keep it that way. Anyway, the next one that I decided to do it completely in my sketchbook because I wanted to use my alcohol markers, and the word that I came up with was harrier. And when I looked this up, it's like a type of bird. So I wanted to draw a bird, and I was like, that would be fun. So that's what I did. And the other thing that I saw was a plane, but I didn't want to draw a plane because that seems really not fun. It's also not really a type of bird, so it's not a species of bird. It's a it's in a genus. It's not a species. I'm gonna look it up because I'm actually not really sure, but it's like a bunch of different species together. There's like family, subfamily, genus. You know what I'm talking about. There's a bunch of different things. Anyway, bunch of different types and species of harrier. But when I looked it up, I was like, I'm gonna draw a bird. My brain's not braining. My family really likes to draw birds. Like, all of my brothers draw birds, and like I'm the only one who doesn't know how to draw birds. So I figured, you know what? Guess I'm learning how. And I started out with the circle for the head, and then I kind of sketched out what the shape looked like in my reference photo for the beak, and like put it on the head. Then I drew a circle for the chest and kind of formed the rest of the body around it, the same way I usually do for my cats. When I draw cats, I'll do it that kind of way. And then I decided I wasn't going to do the bottom because I didn't feel like it. Art is supposed to be fun, and I didn't think it would be that fun. So finally, I'm just kind of sketching it out, and yeah, I guess just enjoy it for a little bit. And now I'm kind of drawing out the eyes. I really don't like drawing animal eyes. I feel like they always either end up too human or too wrong looking. So I figured for some reason my art's been looking, no matter what, it looks better on paper. So these eyes didn't turn out horribly. And I was trying to emphasize the brow bone here to make it kind of give it an expression, even though like birds don't have eyebrows. So yeah. And then when I was done with the sketching process, I took my kneaded eraser and played with it because it's really fun to just fidget around with it. And then I lightened my sketch. And originally I was going to do line art first, like do some sketching with my pens. But then I was like, nah, I'm going to start with the alcohol markers. And when I was working with the alcohol markers, I decided to do it light to dark because that's just how you do things like that. But there was a really big disparity between the lightest color and the next lightest color. It was very saturated, not as much as too much, but I figured I would just lean into it and just be like, all right, I guess everything's saturated. So I went in with a brown color, and then I went in with more of, you could call it a I guess it would be called a dark yellow, because it's more of a yellowish brown than it would be like an actual brown. I don't know if that makes any sense. And then I went in with an actual brown as like the darkest point, so like to actually define all the shadows and stuff. And one of the things that I noticed when I was looking at the birds is that it's lighter on the underbelly and darker on the back, which I guess you could say is for like even like reptiles and stuff. You look at their underbellies and usually it's lighter on the underbelly. Then I was just trying to make sure all the colors were uniform and it looked realistic. I wasn't really sure how to define like feathers, so I just kind of did streaks, kind of like I would hair, like fur. Obviously I don't think it was the best because obviously feathers are not fur, but I only had a limited amount of time because this week has been very busy, so I kind of did more like defining shapes with the pens, and then I went in and did all of the finishing touches, and then I was done. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below if you want to see any more of these.